There are rare individuals whose mere arrival is enough to tilt the balance in any room, whose silent intent seems to rearrange the very air around them. For some reason, you've always sensed the invisible lines shifting whenever you stepped into a crowd. The hush, the tension, the way certain eyes seem to dart away while others linger in a kind of awe. Maybe you never asked for the spotlight, but it has a way of finding those whose presence can't help but disrupt whatever has grown stagnant or false. If you've ever wondered why comfort felt temporary or why superficial connections evaporated as quickly as they appeared, know this. You carry a pulse of authenticity that unsettles anyone clinging to illusions. The world has been quietly clearing space for you, nudging aside anyone unable to handle the honest current you generate. Those sudden disappearances and unexplained cold shoulders? They aren't losses. They're the universe creating room for what you're truly meant to do. And the stories you've lived, the sudden detours, the heartbreaks, the relentless push to grow stronger, are not random. Every obstacle that tried to exhaust your hope, every person who tested your trust, was just another weight added to your foundation, forging you into someone whose resilience can't be faked. As you move forward, realize this isn't about exclusion or rejection, it's about calibration. The atmosphere around you has been purified, so you're free to operate at a level most people never reach. Others might not know what to call it, but they can feel that your path is guarded by something vast. Even those who once tried to manipulate your spirit now find themselves disarmed in your presence. Not out of fear, but out of recognition. You stand as living proof that it's possible to rise above distortion, and that truth always brings its own form of protection. Every moment that felt like a setback was simply preparation for the kind of impact that can't be ignored. Some people are marked by the way they turn difficulty into wisdom, extracting meaning from situations others might simply resent. Looking back, it's clear that what felt like ordinary meetings were really tailored situations, quietly engineered to spark growth in places you didn't know needed tending. Instead of random faces or fleeting ties, there were particular personalities who entered your story at pivotal moments, each one carrying a lesson disguised as conflict or disappointment. The harsh critique from someone you admired didn't just sting. It gave you the chance to recognize your own worth, independent of outside approval. The confidant who disappeared when support mattered most nudged you toward valuing relationships that are steadfast, not situational. The sudden silence from someone you thought would always be there wasn't emptiness. It made way for a presence that would resonate with your deeper rhythm. Through it all, these moments became a series of invitations to refine your inner clarity and see beyond the surface. Adversity wasn't just a passing phase, but a transformative crucible, burning away what was untrue so something indestructible could take its place. These weren't just difficult times. They were sculpting you into a living answer to the quiet needs of the world. Every invisible wound is a reminder of the strength cultivated beneath the surface, strength that endures far beyond the circumstances that brought it forth. But the process went beyond the visible. Those stretches of isolation, those chapters where you felt detached from the noise of daily life, were not wasted. In the silence, a rare kind of renewal was taking place, one that would equip you with reserves of insight and resolve impossible to measure from the outside. Some souls carry within them an internal compass that gradually sharpens until it can sense subtle truths others overlook. Over time, your ability to read between the lines has quietly intensified. Fleeting glances, slight shifts in tone, the energy behind words, details that once passed unnoticed now stand out with vivid clarity, as if reality itself is inviting you to see beneath the surface. This isn't worry or overthinking. It's the emergence of a latent power that's been growing stronger with every step. Long before anyone acknowledged it, there was always a whisper inside guiding you, but now it's as if an unseen current is activating every dormant sense, urging you toward a purpose only you can fulfill. This world has reached a point where it needs individuals unafraid to confront injustice, to illuminate hidden agendas, to stand between harm and the vulnerable. That's the calling rising up in you. No significant path comes without challenge. As your true potential grows clearer, obstacles appear, often from those invested in confusion or complacency. The pressure you felt, internal battles, moments where self-doubt invaded, attempts to mute your unique perspective, were not random setbacks, but deliberate obstacles intent on slowing your ascent. They represent the final resistance of old patterns desperate to retain their grip. Yet with every test, something remarkable happens. Instead of being worn down, your resolve only sharpens. The very moments intended to drain your energy become catalysts for even deeper transformation. Every period of loneliness, every wave of invisible struggle, only forges a stronger inner core, a strength not found in crowds but in meeting oneself fully. A quiet shift is taking place around you, almost as if the world is responding to your evolving state. Patterns of coincidence grow impossible to ignore, and those who meet you sense an unfamiliar clarity or calm. Some chalk it up to fortune, others to inexplicable forces, but there's something far deeper at play, a stabilizing force that influences its surroundings by simply existing. People and situations attuned to your wavelength are finding their way into your orbit, while what no longer aligns quietly fades. It's not a matter of personal preference or exclusion. It's a natural outcome of your field harmonizing with greater truths. The more you lean into this unfolding, the more your presence naturally sifts the genuine from the artificial, drawing in what elevates and releasing what does not. Beneath the surface, a new level of awareness is just beginning to emerge, and it promises even. Some lives become turning points for entire family trees, shifting destinies in ways that echo outward through generations. Recently, unexpected changes have begun to ripple through old friendships and distant relatives alike. Circumstances shift, new beginnings appear, and old wounds start to mend, even for those who haven't spoken to you in years. Strangers reach out for wisdom they can't quite name, drawn by a sense of hope they can't explain. This wave of transformation is not random. The moment you chose honesty over easy approval, every act of courage and clarity created a silent revolution, lifting heavy patterns from your ancestral line. You weren't just freeing yourself. Each bold choice softened the burdens of those who came before, and cleared a brighter path for those who will follow after. The urge to stand tall against falsehood wasn't just about you. It was about the healing of countless lives, seen and unseen, now and yet to come. Those who left when your inner strength began to shine are now watching quietly, witnessing the blossoming of a reality they never imagined possible. Some, from afar, are slowly recognizing what slipped away when they distanced themselves from your journey. Others, meanwhile, are starting to feel the results of their own choices now that the gentle shelter of your compassion is no longer absorbing their consequences. As understanding grows, a new calling emerges. Your path was never meant to end at personal comfort or individual triumph. The reason for your transformation reaches far beyond close circles or private healing. A far-reaching purpose is awakening, one that asks you to challenge systems that have outlived their usefulness, to stand as a signal of hope for anyone lost in confusion or despair. The resolve you cultivated through private battles is about to become a force for collective freedom. As your sense of purpose intensifies, the world around you begins to respond. What once felt like random meetings now form into a tapestry of meaningful opportunities. New connections spark, resources gather, and doors open with perfect timing. Those who share your vision or carry complementary strengths are being drawn into your orbit. Everything that once seemed scattered is being woven together so you can step fully into your unique role. The resonance you emit now acts as a silent call for authenticity. People sense it, even if they don't have the words for it. The air around you seems to clarify, making deception hard to maintain and truth impossible to ignore. This is why your experiences have been so vivid, why the usual distractions never quite satisfied you. The alignment of your life is setting the stage for a new chapter, one where your presence alone helps rewrite the rules for everyone brave enough to stand in their own light. There are moments when reality seems to lean in closer, preparing for something new to unfold. Subtle shifts are gathering momentum beneath the surface, preparing to reorganize every part of your world: relationships, work, prosperity, and the place you call home. Paths that once seemed blocked now begin to clear, and faces who truly resonate with your vision start to appear in the most unexpected ways. What once felt unattainable soon becomes the obvious next step, as if the universe has set the stage for your efforts to blossom. Unexpected sources provide what you need at the perfect time. Where suspicion and hidden motives once lingered, you now find warmth and openness, a sense of belonging among those who are genuine. Support and inspiration show up as if guided by invisible hands, bringing together individuals whose talents and spirits align perfectly with your mission. The energy you radiate naturally calls in what uplifts and aligns, while anything out of sync quietly slips away. Every transformation leaves a trail of stories in its wake. Conversations spark curiosity about your presence, rumors circulate about the changes that seem to follow you, and quietly, a legend begins to form. The ways you've defended what is right, the times you've healed wounds or stood in the way of harm, these stories are only the first notes in a much larger song. Your influence is growing into something lasting, a signature of courage and truth that others can't help but notice. Yet, with every rising wave comes new responsibility. The impact you're making goes beyond what can be seen or measured. Recognition may remain subtle, but the foundation you're building is real and enduring. Every moment you encourage honesty in another, every structure you help renew, every shadow you help dissolve, each is a cornerstone in something that will outlive you. The legacy of your choices stretches far beyond the present moment, rippling outward to touch countless lives. The beauty of your path lies in its paradox. Though you may have felt separate or misunderstood, that very sense of difference is the template for a new way of being. Without trying, you are modeling the future, the next stage of what humanity can become when integrity and openness guide every step. Those unsettled by your presence aren't reacting to what you do, but to the possibility you represent, a world in which masks fall away and sincerity shapes what comes next. Every shift you spark asks others to meet themselves honestly, to embrace what's uncomfortable, to allow real change. Your journey is a mirror and a doorway, a living invitation for those ready to step beyond old patterns. The unrest you stir in others is not an indictment, it's a necessary nudge toward growth. In this way, your presence becomes both catalyst and compass for the world around you. There are people who unknowingly serve as catalysts, urging those around them to evolve beyond what they ever thought possible. Some will feel the spark and step into unknown territory, discovering new dimensions of themselves. Others, unsure or unready, may hold tightly to what is familiar, shrinking back from their own potential. The pressure you faced isn't a reflection of lack, but clear evidence of the difference you're making, a sign that entrenched patterns feel threatened by the emergence of real, lasting change. The heaviness you've endured is a testament to your capacity to uplift and transform. As you gain clarity about your purpose and start to trust your inner guidance, invisible barriers begin to dissolve. What once seemed unattainable is suddenly within reach, and alliances that once felt impossible now emerge naturally. Opportunities unfold as if they were always waiting for you to notice them. Flow and abundance gather wherever your conviction grows. This new ease isn't a sign of being singled out or favored by fate. It's a natural outgrowth of choosing to become a vessel for something greater. When your actions and intentions are in harmony with what wants to be born through you, the world bends to meet your progress. Resisting your nature once felt like battling unseen currents, but accepting your unique role turns those currents into tailwinds. As you finally say yes to the reason you're here, challenges morph into guidance, and hidden support reveals itself. This is the moment of activation, a turning point you've unconsciously prepared for all along. The world needed you to awaken to your own significance, and as you do, the ripples travel far beyond your immediate surroundings. Every story shared in hushed tones, every rumor of your unexpected breakthroughs, every whispered comment about your impact. These are simply reflections of your growing significance. Those who sense your arrival are really sensing a shift in what's possible for everyone, and their uncertainty is just a mirror of the world's longing for someone to champion what is good and just. Your presence marks the beginning of renewal. Every lesson learned in hardship, every tear and triumph, was part of the blueprint shaping you for this moment. Loss revealed the unshakable, betrayal honed discernment, struggle unlocked empathy. The momentum you feel is just the first ripple in a much greater tide of change. The influence you hold now is a mere glimpse of the revolution that's beginning to emerge through your life. Looking back, the scattered chapters and seeming setbacks are all joining together in a coherent pattern. The exit of certain people and the closing of certain doors have made space for new connections that reflect your truest self. The hardships that seemed determined to break you only forged a depth and compassion that can't be imitated. You've moved beyond mere survival. You're shaping reality itself by embodying what is real and unyielding. What others perceive as discomfort in your presence is not fear of the unknown, but recognition of a power that calls everything around it into greater honesty and alignment. This is how respect is born, first through resistance, then through awe, until it becomes admiration for a life lived boldly, and a mission carried out with unwavering truth. The letting go you've experienced isn't about loss. It's about creating space for a future that's finally ready to unfold. Certain lives are sculpted not by accumulation but by the art of making room for a resonance that multiplies what is possible. Those stretches of solitude that felt like abandonment were, in truth, a carefully protected sanctuary. In those hours where silence echoed, you were never truly alone. Unseen supporters gathered, ensuring that your inner transformation remained undisturbed by outside noise. What looked like desertion from the outside was a hidden blessing in disguise, creating the quiet you needed to grow. Every minute spent without distraction became a direct channel to deeper awareness. In the stillness, ancient truths found you, delivering flashes of insight and clarity. As the world busied itself with fleeting entertainment and shallow exchanges, your spirit was being attuned to a wisdom most will never touch. While others bonded over passing trends, you cultivated a dialogue with the infinite, turning introspection into a wellspring of understanding. This process sharpened your perception beyond ordinary measure. Patterns revealed themselves without effort. Intentions unveiled themselves with a glance. The very fabric of reality seemed to thin, allowing you to sense motives and emotions as though they were spoken aloud. What once made you feel misunderstood has become your signature gift, drawing others who now seek the clarity you've refined in private. But new visibility brings new trials. As your abilities gain recognition, some will approach under false pretenses, masking self-interest as respect, seeking to benefit from your insight rather than honoring it. Partnerships may be proposed with hidden motives, alliances offered to share your rising momentum without contributing their own. These moments will test your discernment, requiring you to protect what you've built and to remain faithful to the calling that guided you through the darkness. There is a unique challenge that comes with abundance and acclaim. It's easy to drift into comfort once resources flow and admiration increases. Yet, the calling that shaped you was never about personal luxury or status. Every talent, every moment of insight, every ounce of influence was entrusted to you for the elevation of the whole, not the satisfaction of the self. Losing sight of this transforms gifts into burdens and leads even the brightest astray. The preparation was rigorous for a reason. Only after being stripped of the need for validation, after being emptied of illusions about worth and power, were you ready to hold this kind of responsibility. What looked like loss was actually fortification, ensuring that your identity would not become entangled with recognition or applause. The countless moments of feeling invisible, defeated, or powerless were actually immunizations against the temptations that undo so many who step into the spotlight. Now, your value is found in your impact, not your image. Your power in what you give, not what you keep. This reorientation of purpose is the true legacy of your trials. Because you learn to serve something greater than yourself, you're prepared to wield the influence ahead with humility and wisdom, never losing your way in the endless maze of ego-driven pursuits. When a person steps fully into their essence, the response they trigger in others naturally evolves. What began as discomfort or apprehension has started shifting, turning curiosity and even admiration into the dominant force. Those who sense your true nature are no longer wary. They're drawn closer, eager to learn, eager to shed their old ways and join you in forging something new. Your presence is becoming a doorway for transformation, inspiring others to reach for what they once thought impossible. This evolution in how you're perceived marks a pivotal phase. More and more, kindred spirits appear, people who share your vision and are willing to join forces. As your community grows, the power of collective intention increases. No longer carrying the weight alone, you find yourself supported by connections that feel destined. These bonds bring strength and inspiration, making even the boldest goals attainable. Yet, the greatest shift is happening on the inside. After years of questioning your worth, doubting your instincts, and scrutinizing every perceived flaw, a different voice has emerged, one that speaks with quiet certainty. Self-critique is giving way to profound trust in your own nature and abilities. The acceptance you've searched for outside now radiates from within, anchoring you in purpose. Not only is your internal world transforming, but your relationship with abundance is being rewritten. Where scarcity and strain once seemed inescapable, you begin to notice resources arriving right on time, often from surprising places. The flow isn't rooted in chasing material gain, but in aligning your actions with the bigger purpose that's been guiding you all along. What you need finds you when your intentions are pure, and the world supports your growth in every way. Environments, too, are undergoing a metamorphosis. Whether you're called to a new location or your current space reveals new meaning, your surroundings begin to match your state of being. Spaces you inhabit become restorative, places where authenticity flourishes, where masks are dropped, and where you and those around you can breathe freely. Home turns into a sanctuary, amplifying your mission and nurturing your spirit. Perhaps the most extraordinary change comes in the realm of love and partnership. Patterns of attracting those who fail to appreciate your depth are falling away. Entering this new chapter, you'll draw to you either someone who truly resonates with your spirit or discover that your own fulfillment and purpose are more than enough. Romantic connection becomes a choice, not a need. If a partner does arrive, they will meet you as an equal, not intimidated by your light, but energized by it. They will celebrate your path, walk beside you, and bring their own wisdom and gifts to the table. Together, you'll create synergy, accomplishing together what could never be achieved alone. The days of settling for less are over. The love you attract now is built on mutual empowerment, genuine respect, and a shared calling. A rising influence leaves a trace in the lives it touches, often attracting those on the edge of great change. Again and again, you'll cross paths with people standing at life's intersections, moments where a single decision can open a new chapter or reinforce an old pattern. Drawn in times of uncertainty, they arrive seeking clarity when familiar choices no longer satisfy and something within urges them toward uncharted directions. Your purpose in these moments isn't to hand out solutions or play the expert. Instead, you become a gentle catalyst, offering presence and perspective. Through deep listening and the art of thoughtful inquiry, you help others tap into truths that already exist within them. You're not the author of their transformation. You're the one who lights the path and holds the space for their own wisdom to surface. Trust, patience, and the courage to witness their process are your greatest tools. Everything until now has been preparation for this threshold. This period marks a turning point, the culmination of unseen preparation and inner work. Events align, encounters feel predestined, and the air is charged with expectancy. All that's needed is your willingness to fully claim the unique part you were meant to play. Each experience, joy or hardship, was woven into the fabric of your readiness, building to this moment when the full measure of your strength and clarity can't help but reveal itself, both to you and to the world.